What is up, guys? Welcome back to another overanalyzing video. Now, a few weeks ago I had actually asked you guys which map you wanted to see between Buried and Origins, and 99.9% of you guys had said the map Die Rise. And honestly, I've never had a map more requested ever on this YouTube channel other than this video here today. So I hope you guys do enjoy this overanalyzing video, and let me know which COD game you guys want to see next too, because I've only been doing Black Ops 2 zombies and multiplayer maps. So if you guys want to see another overanalyzing video in a different Call of Duty game, then let me know which one you guys would like to see next. But either way, let's get into the map Die Rise from Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies. Now, spawning in the first room here on the map Die Rise, it almost looks like the map Mirage from the same DLC pack, the Revolution, from the Black Ops 2 multiplayer. I mean, it has the same almost layout, color, and most even the same assets. Now, I don't want to get into lore specific things because a lot of you had told me that I got a lot of information inaccurate in the last video, but some was pretty much accurate. So for this video, I'm just going to say that this map does take place on October 22nd, 2035, a day after the Green Run map, aka Transit, and it takes place in Shanghai, China, a totally different country than what we were in the last map, which was Transit, which is in America. Now, based off the spawn area, we can already see that there's already something interactive, which is the elevator. And I mean, it's kind of a unique thing about this map, as we will see, is just the uniqueness and the interactiveness of it. Now, for this video, since this is an entire zombies map, I want to go room by room and just look at all the details, specifically the ones that I think that are important. Now, based off after the first door, we could tell it's a elevator sort of lobby, since there's two shafts and there's just a long hallway, but below that we actually have a shop. And I don't know about you guys, but this reminds me kind of like the shopping center in the map Express from the multiplayer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it just kind of weird that there's a shopping center, especially at a very high floor considering? But honestly, it doesn't really have that many details, but it does have this teddy bear that could be found in the mystery box, which is a pretty cool detail. Now, this sign here actually tells us and provides us what type of floors we're on and what there is. The M floor actually doesn't stand for main floor, but it means home living. Same thing could be said for floor 78, home living. 77 is children and infants world. 76 is leather goods plaza. 75 is fashion clothing. And finally, floor 74 is the parking area. Now, below here is nothing again too crazy. It's just a standardized restaurant area, but there's actually a few things that I picked up on. First and foremost, there's actually this TV here that's really small, but if you really listen to it, you can hear a broadcast sort of music playing, and I think at times a zombie screaming and growling, which I think is a pretty cool detail. But also, if we look at the food menu of the restaurant, we can tell that the prices are absolutely insane. I mean, $130 for this simple bowl here. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, the cheapest thing on the menu is literally $60. I mean, wow, that's honestly pretty crazy. Now, in my last video, I kind of talked about spawning areas, see if they're impractical or not, and I feel like this, basically impractical, I mean a solid wall, but at the end of the day, it's about the details when you look into it. And I mean, this almost has like these skull looking patterns on it. Now, this map also works a lot with parkour, and I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I played this when I was younger, I'd always die to these easy parkour things. I don't know, that's probably why I didn't really like it too much. But as you could tell from entering, it's kind of a trippy upside down place, and we will see later why this entire area is upside down. Now, I would say this part of the map has really no detail or anything crazy to talk about. I mean, it is just a standardized floor, apartment, or sort of hotel. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about that makes it so unique or different other than the fact that it's upside down. I mean, we see the skull patterns on the wall return, but also, I mean, it's just a building that's broken down due to probably the rockets or the meteors. But here's a few things that I picked up on. If we look at this refrigerator, it's a regular one, but it's actually the same one from the multiplayer map Raid. Also, if we make our way down here, there's the obvious mattresses that are used to when you do parkour from building to building, but we want to look at it from a lore perspective. Why are these there? I mean, we just randomly teleported here, meaning that people probably did parkour when they were here, or the survivors before us. I mean, that's probably a huge chance. Now, one thing about this map that I really find cool is the parkour part of it. And I mean, this map is probably one of the first maps where we actually have to do parkour in Black Ops Zombies. I died a lot of the times when I first started playing this map. Again, I think that it just adds, this area adds that uniqueness to this map, meaning that one small step and game over and you gotta restart from the beginning. At the first time you play it, it's also pretty confusing if you don't know what you're doing. I remember playing this and thinking that this was out of bounds if I jumped down here. Now, making away at the complete bottom, one of the first things I realized was the fact that the AN-94 is actually finally in Zombies, because it wasn't in the previous Nuketown or Green Run map. And I really do like the fact that they added the weapons upside down on the wall just to, you know, go with the upside down narrative. And I mean, it's a pretty cool detail that you probably missed or didn't really realize until you really look at it. Making our way to, I guess you could say, the complete bottom of the map, which would be technically the top, we can actually see a part that, again, it looks like the map Mirage from the multiplayer, which honestly, the fact that they use a lot of the same assets for both those maps. And I mean, who knows why they went with a multiplayer map and zombie maps that almost looks similar. I mean, who knows that maybe they got the idea from the multiplayer map to make it, or maybe they got the idea from Zombies to make it. But a few things that I realized were the fact that there are literally carpets floating on the ceiling, even though it's upside down. Who knows why the carpets are up there? I mean, they could just be stapled, but most of the time people don't staple carpets to concrete. I mean, that's almost impossible. Now, before we continue on, it's important to note that this building is actually a luxurious apartment building, as translated here, and so it gives us a good perspective of what the spawning building is. And the reasoning here, we have a shopping center, different homes, a giant fancy spatial area that makes it look like we're in the wealthy side of things, that wealthy people stayed here. Now, what I do really like about this map, as we will see when we cross to the second building, is the fact that not only that there's again another weapon that we rarely see in Zombies, which is the AK-74U, but also the fact that we are in a different sort of section. From the looks of it, it seems like a sort of apartment, rundown, cheap, where these are people's beds. And I mean, there's no mattress, but there is a pillow. Some of these are used for storage, but it does seem like these different types of bunks where people would sleep in. It almost looks like it was rough. I mean, by just looking at the whole layout of this floor, it looks a little miserable, gritty, dark. But if we make our way to more of the top floor, we can actually see that it's some sort of sweatshop where people work. I mean, there's a bunch of sewing machines all over the place, clothes, chairs. Part of the building feels the most alive because there's a lot of assets and a lot of things just sitting here. And if we go to the top floor of the map by using the elevators, now if we go to the top floor, we actually see more sewing machines and more tables, but also it's barricaded. There's fences, there's those metal fences on the walls too, meaning that this almost looks like something that people were trapped in. By the looks of it, it looks like people are living here, but who knows why there's that many bunk beds here and why it feels so barricaded. And that's why I like to look at this map from a different perspective compared to just a normal Zombies map, because it shows the complete opposite of what we have. I mean, we have a luxurious building, and then next to it is just a run-down, dark and gritty living area. And what I really like about this map is how interactive it is. I mean, with the elevators that give you a temporary time to grab whichever perk you need, and if you're late for it, it moves to different floors. And I think that we don't really see this with Call of Duty Zombies maps nowadays, because, and when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's literally a challenge to get Juggernaut or Quick Revive or any sort of perks. And I mean, it's always random in the different game modes you play. But overall, this map offers us a really good perspective of what they're trying to set out to be. I mean, of course it's a Zombies map, but when we look at from a bird's eye view perspective, it tells us two different stories, two different lives that people were living. And I mean, you might say that this is a reach and thinking way too deep, but this is an overanalyzing video. A lot of things have a story or lore behind it. And I mean, Zombies of course has a lore behind it, but it's not about the zombie stories, but it's about the area that we're in. The map gives us two different sides, two different stories, and it tells us what type of lives people were staying in. And I think that that's really cool about this map, but it makes us appreciate the narrative that it's going for in this map and how interactive it is. We don't have a lot of Call of Duty maps that work with elevators. When it comes to getting a simple perk like mentioned before, you might miss it, and then you might have to do that entire work again and figure out where that is, especially if it's the first time you've played it. It adds a challenge, and that's what makes this map for me personally unique, and the right jumps at the right times. Now you might be saying, well, is that it for the in-game map? And yes, but I think that the more interesting things when it comes to the Overanalyzing series and just overall maps is what's going on the outside. When we go actually out of bounds and look at things from the outside perspectives, there's actually a lot of details that we can see. And I mean, there's a whole lot of different types of buildings with different signs on them. Each building almost has a different sort of sign. Now, if we look at this one with the panda on it, it actually translates to affordable prices, Panda Health Insurance. This one below translates to charcoal roasted coffee house. And this one actually says zombie meat, which is probably a little nod Easter egg to Call of Duty Zombies that no one's probably ever really picked up on. And this one actually translates to Lingma Hot Springs, which is a spa. This one translates to Mediterranean International Hotel. This one translates to Northern Delicious Food House. This one actually translates to Black Ops Beer, which is another sort of type of little Easter egg. This sign here translates to Frontier Power Company. This one translates to the Royal Restaurant. This sign says convenient for the people for public use. This one translates to the Royal Black Real Estate. This one translates to Trust Bank. This refers to Organic Food Grocery Store. This actually refers to another reference to Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies to Zombie Bank. This is a multi-business signpost, meaning that there's something called electronics, glasses, and a hotel, and also a Lucky Dog store. This sign here says American Military Toy Store. And finally, this last sign refers to Medicine Bill. So there's quite a lot of different advertisements and signs outside of the map that give us a little bit more context of what's outside of this map, what this city has to offer. And from the looks of it, it seems like this map doesn't even have a city underneath. It's all skyscrapers. And I mean, of course, that's the whole point of the map. It would be cool to see some sort of road or maybe something underneath the map, but because there's a lot of fog, they didn't decide to add it. And I mean, there's no sort of any detail or Easter egg, unfortunately, under the map, which would be kind of cool to see, like we saw in town where there was like unused places. It's actually broken in half, and half of it is completely hanging off, which I'm honestly surprised that this building is strong enough to actually withhold this and not completely break apart. And I mean, if we really look outside of the map, I really do like the meteor shower that happens and floating rocks from the most likely the planet flying out, as again, this does take place after the moon map. We can obviously tell that this is definitely the outcome of that impact, with all these buildings on fire, destroyed, falling apart. But I do like the fact that it gives us a change of scenery compared to transit, meteors, and actually being able to see space, almost where we can basically see the Milky Way. But we actually get to see a new perk in this map, which is Who's Who for the first time in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies. And I did find it interesting with the whole story, meaning that a lot of people just stay in this giant building and probably rarely go outside because everything they have is just here. I mean, we saw that with the grocery store building. That's just across the map when we went to go translate. And as for the building across, it's dark, it's eerie, it shows a different side of what this map is and what people endured before the apocalypse. It tells us just a completely different narrative than what we kind of expected. But I do hope you guys did enjoy this overanalyzing video, and I will definitely be making more overanalyzing zombie videos, so please let me know which map you guys would like to see. And if you guys think that I missed anything in this, or feel like I should have talked more about certain things, then please even let me know down in the comments below. But either way, it's been Fellow, and just remember to stay smart.